Hello, people, and welcome to the first ever edition of the King Life Podcast with yours truly, Josiah Willis, alongside my co-host and good friend, Anthony Lombardo.
Hey, guys.
Today we will discuss why I have a YouTube channel and a bunch of other things. So in case you're not familiar of who I am a YouTuber that does, music reactions, looking to expound on interviews. But then I thought, why not try to do a podcast? And it was a certain someone who convinced me otherwise to start, pretty early. I met this guy in, Wright State University, my fourth year here attending, and we just instantly just had chemistry, and we really became real good friends. We spent quite the time with each other over, about a week, so it's kind of like real early, but at the same time, have gotten really close since then.
Yeah, those are very nice sentiments, but I was thinking this fits his sort of content and stuff, and I thought it would just be really good to do this, and especially to start now. But yeah, he met me here, and I'm glad to be here. So I always had an interest in YouTube related stuff, and when I met Josiah and he told me he was making reaction type videos, I thought, man, that's really cool. And I even started watching some of them, and another friend of mine, which is a friend of Josiah's, he's been on the channel before, but they're both really cool people, and I just thought, you know what, we could expand on this a bit. We could start this thing that we're doing now. And generally the idea is that we're going to start saying small talk before everything happens, and then we're going to get into whatever the topic is for today.
How's your day been, bro?
It's been doing all right. I've been I had a class today. It was on theater. By the way, I'm somewhat, not fully theater major, but I've been thinking about doing theater. I'm mostly undecided, but yeah, what about you?
You already know about me, bro. So as far as my major too, it is a theater major, but it's communications and theater studies.
Which is really cool, by the way.
Thank you, Brody. Double major, you already know what it is. But it was interesting. Yeah, they had Fall Fest today, and going out, around on campus. Very nice to get around. You see people from fraternities. You see people try to get you, campus ministries, and there's all that type of things going on campus. I'm going to student union. I had went through an incident where I was like, okay, my bro just needs some new earplugs, but then I left my wallet, so I had to go all the way back to where I was at, and then grab that, and then come back to student union, which is a long walk, bro. It's like a maze on campus.
Yeah, and then you met me at Student Union where we started talking about everything.
I did.
For Fall Fest, I only stepped in for a minute. I was like, nah, that's too much social interaction for right now. But once we were actually intending on starting off today. Not starting off, but later today we were like, yeah, let's do some reactions and stuff. And we did it. We got about 2 reactions in.
We did.
And that was fun, by the way.
Thank you.
We got in those videos, that one song, what was it?
It was Alter Bridge, Pawns and Kings. Shout out to Alter Bridge, by the way. Shout out to you guys. Y'all killed that song.
That was fire.
That was really, really good. And then I would say Roy Ayers Ubiquity. I kind of like put him some game when it comes to my black culture, joking wise. It was Everybody Loves Sunshine, one of the most... it's one of the greatest songs ever written and made. Also, one of the most sampled songs ever. Probably the most simple song ever in the music industry, whether it's hip hop, R&B, whatever genre.
Yeah, and I actually like that song a lot. And we talked a little bit about how maybe the song wasn't so much about the lyrics. I know you like to do a lyric breakdown on most of your videos and stuff, but how it was probably just more how the music interacted and the lyrics painted this picture more so than what the lyrics actually meant.
Yeah, I like how you highlight that, because after a while I was like, he's kind of right. It was more of a vibe than anything than it was about anything intricate or detailed, let alone something that was very complex. complex for you to break down and try to understand that you appreciate the record just more so, and then the viewer is actually able to appreciate the record in a way where they can truly understand it based off of just you're hearing repetitively, everybody loves the sunshine. You know what I'm saying? So it goes to that range. You know what I mean?
So you remember the first time we met, right, and everything? I'm
Yes, I do, bro. Like how you mentioned, we was at the student union, and it was kind of weird. It was over rock climbing.
Yeah.
Like, we was literally going in for rock climbing. It was me and my homeboy. I ain't gonna mention his name. He shall not be named.
We got him on his channel. You can't.
Well, I did. It's Colin, you guys. Y'all already know my guy, Colin Smith, was there, and we all had went to rock climbing, and it was a pretty interesting time for me and Anthony to meet up, and we just bonded. Just talk about things and our interests and college, and from there we just started hanging out. He wanted to see where I was going to be doing from next time around, so I said, okay, cool.
Yeah, ironically, the rock climbing, part of why we met was because of just how painful it was for us beginning, because goddamn. So Colin, thank God he was there, because otherwise there was no chance me or Josiah could have gone through that. And because with rock climbing, you gotta have you gotta use your legs, and I didn't. Me nor Josiah really took that into account the very first time we started trying. It was all arms, and then we just fell off the thing practically.
Oh man! But he motivated me. I got so competitive. I'm very much of a competitive guy. Because at one point I went on there twice and I couldn't reach towards the top because I kept, focusing more on my hands than I was on my feet. At one point, he came back up there and took Colin's advice to heart. And this dude, man, almost got all the way to the top. I think you actually got towards the top.
I got to the top.
Yeah, and I got so jealous. I was like, who does this dude think he is? He was going to show off and then he got to take kind of muscles on me. I'm like, but more athletic or something like that. So I said to myself, nope, I'm going to do it again, probably about 2 more times.
I will say, to be fair, I pretty much fell off the thing a couple of times and just dead hanged there off the rope. But
that is true.
I still did make it to the top, and I do give Josiah a lot of credit. He did work hard at that, but stuff like that just comes hard.
It does. And then on top of that, Colin was the more experienced one. He definitely did more and even tried some of the most, just rigorous. I don't know how to really describe it. I'm not sure if the rigorous is the right word. I'm not even quite sure, but he was able to handle it and didn't give too much consideration about what he could not do. He really just knew how to do it, and he thought about it. He thought about it very logically. Rather than saying he couldn't, pull it off.
Yeah, that's very Colin, by the way. He's he's such a cool dude, by the way. Yeah, I don't want to say too much about him because maybe you don't want all his info with how paranoid he is. My man Colin, he gets paranoid sometimes, in my opinion.
Colin's very comfortable in his own skin. He's a very private person, so we're gonna respect his privacy.
Yeah, he's just funny about some things like Instagram and stuff. He don't keep a social media because he don't want everyone getting his info and all that, which...
Leave me alone!
Which, it's cool. That's his decision. But I had to argue with him for an hour until I gave up on trying to convince him to get a social media.
Yeah.
But, man, he's a wonder guy. I'm glad I met him. I'm glad I met you, by the way.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. It's been interesting. It's like my first week of college, and what year are you again, Josiah?
This is my 4th year. I'm technically a sophomore due to credit hours. You gotta get towards 60 credit hours to be a junior. College is not easy, you guys. I'm not saying that to be funny or anything, and not to say that I'm not as smart or intellectual or intelligent as some are. But it's a process to really overcome, and then college is not it's also not very cheap. I mean, it's also not cheap. It's really cheap.
God no.
It's not really. I mean, that's it. It's really cheap. Sorry, what's wrong with me? It's also
It's
not that cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very expensive. I'll say that.
So, talking about beginnings and everything, what was your inspiration for your YouTube channel and all that?
My cousin actually got me inspired to do a YouTube channel. I had a channel before. I don't speak too fondly of it. For whatever reason, I'm gonna keep it disclosed from only me to know about that channel, and I won't give details regarding that channel. Not that I'm ashamed of it, but it's just not a channel that I'm definitely really pushing forth now. But I did start doing YouTube early. I want to say around maybe when I was like 15, 16, and then
15, 16.
Yeah, when I was doing I had a previous channel before I started doing my channel where I started doing reactions. And,
Out of curiosity, what was the content about?
The content was more comedy based. It was really trying so hard to be funny and make people laugh and ha ha hee hee. But it was just, I don't know, I think when I look back on it now, it's more of a family thing for me to really watch around my family, and it was meant for a lot of different entertainment purposes. But now I stopped doing it, took a huge break, a big hiatus, and then eventually I was like, yep, I'm done with that channel, I'm moving on, and what I really wanted to focus more on was getting across doing music as far as pursuing a career as a rapper, pursuing a career as an actor too, and just really trying to get towards, having books, become a bestseller, all these different things I had in my goals in mind for what I really want to pursue. And but my cousin had really inspired me about a year before I started doing my channel.
Which you've been doing for 2 years.
I've been doing it for 2 years now. Yep, and then doing it for 2
impressive
years.
That you've kept with it.
Yeah, in 2022 we here.
Yeah, clearly, you've had a want to keep doing this sort of thing.
Yeah, man. Because I love music. I appreciate it so much. I'm very, very passionate about it. And then I said to myself, man, I see a lot of YouTubers that I really, really like, but I just said to myself, I don't want to be, no offense, but I don't want to be no stereotypical YouTuber where you go, oh man, this song was fire and it was really good. Like, comment, subscribe, and then that was it. And to me, I was like, no. The music should be detailed more. Like, explain to me why I should love this song. Why should I care about it? Besides you saying it's also fire, and you got some other one convinced that what you're saying is true, but I may not also agree with it. So give me reasons, point out the critiques. But I didn't see too many YouTubers doing that, so that was one of my reasons for why I did it. And I just really love hip hop. I wanted to do lyrical breakdowns and be like, okay, do you catch that one bar and that one bar? And then it will go into, oh yeah, we appreciate it more, right? So my cousin, he was doing his channel, he did mukbangs, did vlogs and stuff like that, just really inspired me. And I said to myself, okay, I'm gonna do my own channel. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try my own thing. And it took a while, but once I was able to not micromanage everything, but put together how I wanted it to separate how I do my reactions, I think I really just elevated from there and got better from doing video after video and continued on my growth.
That's great, man. Clearly you've gone a decent long way, and it seems like now maybe you're wanting to branch out.
Yeah, which is why we're doing this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, just, we really want to just keep pushing and hopefully get notoriety for it, but not for the reasons why notoriety should be given notoriety for, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. I would get notoriety, meaning more eyes, more attention to me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But at the same time, don't do it for reasons that people would go as far as to say you're doing the reasons for it.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, this whole thing is because you want to do it. It's not like you're not making money or anything.
No, exactly. Not at least not right now, and not quite yet, unless YouTube really gets me and I meet that payment threshold, and then we get that paycheck, baby. Yeah. But YouTube hasn't paid me quite yet. Shout out to you guys from YouTube. Love you guys. Thank y'all for blessing me with a great channel and giving me the platform to just show my love for artists. I have appreciated for years.
By the way, I thought it was when I first looked at your channel and stuff, I noticed there were just views on pretty much every video and stuff. You have concurrent active viewers.
Mm-hmm.
And most people, when they start out YouTube and stuff, not that you just started out or anything, but like
Right,
most
right.
people, even after a decent amount of time of YouTube, can't even say that.
Yeah.
But you
yeah.
have people watching, and
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Thank you, bro. Thank
Yeah.
you. It's really, I move. I want to go as far as to say I move with chess over checkers. I'm not saying that to be like, oh, I'm also just full of myself or I'm arrogant or cocky or anything. That's not what I'm saying. It's just overall confidence. And I think strategically, if you want to get more viewers, you have to appeal towards everyone. I think you got to try your best to appeal towards everyone. And I feel like the way I do my channel, it's a large margin of different genres that people are big fans of. Some of those subscribers I get is not only from a rapper that's famous that I have done on there named Nick Natoli. There's rock, bands that are very, very popular and fans really enjoy, and they're like, bro, can we see you do another YouTube reaction? Can we see you do another Grab Van Fleet reaction? Can we see you do another Nirvana reaction? And so when I get those requests, it just continuously builds and builds and builds, and then more subs. But I'm not trying to brag. I just keep on pushing forward, and I encourage the listeners or viewers to support me however they want to go about it. But at the same time, you don't have to, but you should, in a sense of wanting to see me continuously grow. And I don't care if I ever get across 14, 15 million people. I just know that if I get around like maybe 1 through 5 million, I'm good, bro. I'm really good.
Yeah, and on the subject, you were saying you didn't want to be put into a box generally, right? We were talking about this in private a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know what, we should probably bring that up for the thing we're about to do, but, you know.
Yeah, because for a black man, from Cincinnati, Ohio, that does, reactions, it's not that there aren't people around my city that does reactions or from my state. It's just that for me, from where I come up, and it was kind of like frowned upon for you to do certain reactions to certain artists regarding more so probably towards the rock genre. And to me, I'm like, I love rock. Like I really love music. If it sounds good, it sounds good. That's my motto I live by, because at the end of the day, I can tell when something is bad. I can tell when something is horrible, not finished right, and it's not good. But I don't sit there and rant and be negative towards the listener or the viewer about your song is garbage, it's trash, throw it away, you should never do music again, because that's negative. You know what I mean? I encourage positivity on my channel a lot because it's needed. People need to be inspired by that.
Yeah, I can't agree more, especially in these times where things are just so difficult for people, prices keep rising, crap keeps happening around the world, and it don't really make too much sense why.
Yeah.
But right now, inspiration and good deeds and stuff, they're priceless in my opinion, and more people need to be doing them, because at the end of the day, you can either start trying to be a part of stuff like that, or you can just keep getting bogged down by the weights of the world and responsibility and trying to figure out purpose, what you doing here, and everything.
Really?
And maybe part of what we're doing here is trying to help alleviate all of that for just a small bit of time.
Yeah. Because like I said, the world, sometimes it feels like it's like really coming down, it's about ready to be over with. Yeah. There's just so many different things that you gotta understand about evolution. Is like, it can either go for better or for worse, So when you see it a lot of times, you're thinking to yourself, okay, how can we as a society benefit others in a way where we can, really try to move forward? I know it sounds very cliche when you say move forward a lot, because people always hear that and they're like, oh yeah, move forward, keep grinding, keep going, and you'll make it, and you'll make it to the finish line, and success will come your way. But a lot of times when we're being real to ourselves, it's a process. Life is a real guaranteed process, but it's not also guaranteed for you to have life, forever. You know what I mean? I know you've heard that thousands, millions of times, but it's really true.
Absolutely. I mean, there's so many things you can do in your life, and there's so many things where you can say, oh, I'll do it sometime, but the truth is nobody can make you do anything.
Yeah.
Maybe the government make you pay taxes, but besides from that,
yes.
like, if you want to sit around and do nothing and never do anything with your life and all that, there's nobody who can really stop you. And it's kind of in vice versa too. And here's my thoughts on it. If you want to think of success, you know, like I'm trying to be like, I kind of want to be an actor. I'm not fully decided, but if I do, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But my idea of success with that is not that, okay, I want to be Tom Hanks. I want to be the next big thing, you know. I don't care too much about that. That's not me. I want to inspire people. I want to make impacts on people, and that matters to me so much, and the threshold for that isn't even that big.
Yeah.
It's just the thought and the effort behind that. And that can go a huge ways, in ways that I nor you can ever see the true repercussions of. Maybe they're good, maybe they're bad, who the hell knows. But part of what we're doing right now is, you know what? We want to take things and we want to take life, and right now we just want to run with it.
Yeah, man. Very, very true. Like I said, you know, with doing my channel, it's all about trying to bring inclusivity, because I like involving people. I know I got flack one time for including my siblings into a reaction. I was doing a hip hop reaction. It did have explicit language, and I guarantee it was one of the funniest things ever. I look back on it and I was like, okay, whatever. Because I was working at my job around the time. I had worked around UPS. I think I did like a side with John 1 USA, and I was a security guard. And I never forget, I got a comment, like I looked through my notifications from my cell phone, and there was this guy who was like, he's like, why in the F are you asking your siblings, your brother and your sister for their opinions over a song that you know for a fact they're supposed to listen to, blah, 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 and this and that, and third, and yada, yada. And if you watch the reaction, I clarified that I just did it around my family, and I just really wanted to just get their opinions. I wasn't allowing their opinions to dictate my opinion. I was just giving it how they felt. And I love my family, bro. I'm very close towards my family, but it was very misunderstood. So I have been called out a few times on my channel about, you know, I've been given certain flack for things that I have done on there. So, but once again, I don't argue that I'm also perfect with everything. I always look to say at the end that I'm trying to improve. I'm trying to do better. I did. I'll tell you one thing. Well, a few things. A few weeks ago, I was doing reactions towards you too, and I think I did Iron Maiden and I think Guns N' Roses. I did Paradise City. Love Guns N' Roses, Paradise City. Great song. But I think on the Iron Maiden one and the YouTube reactions I did, I was getting a lot of flack for my audio quality, saying that my audio quality was bad and that it didn't do too well, yada, yada, yada. But instead of allowing that to really hinder me and make me feel like, oh, what do you mean? You're wrong with your opinion. No, he's just highlighting the criticism. So, but it wasn't too bad for criticism. It wasn't, he was saying the audio was terrible based on how he felt about the audio. He didn't say I was also terrible regarding my reaction. But I said to myself, okay, cool. All right, I'm going to try to figure out a way where I can actually finally, after 2 years, get the reactions to be shown with the visual or the audio version of the songs that I'm doing, instead of them also just, okay, hammering home that I'm not really putting it on there. But I worked very hard to, like I said, improve. I'm not trying to be a dead horse when I say this, but I really worked very hard to.
So what's been your driving factor for your YouTube channel, and maybe, you know, stuff like your acting degree and communications degree that you're going for and stuff, all that?
So really, when I initially came towards, what question want to start off with first though?
How about we go with your YouTube channel?
YouTube channel. Like I said, my cousin inspired me. Definitely was motivated by him to get back into it, but at the same time, I knew, excuse me, I knew what I wanted to accomplish creatively for what I had set as far as goals, and one of those goals was to be the difference in a YouTuber that someone can make in terms of like the videos, the qualities that I can put out, the consistency of me just dropping reactions left and right, back and forth, but also trying my best to go for genres like hip hop, R&B, Christian, gospel, do reggae. You got rock. You got all these different things. And then eventually, I began to start doing trailer reactions towards like movies and TV shows.
So, what is it that drives you to do that, though? What's your motivation?
Watching other YouTubers. Watching other YouTubers, being influenced by their works. One of my biggest inspirations, I never told nobody this, and I probably have said this on my channel before in the past, but Lost in Vegas, shout out to George and Ryan. They have a phenomenal YouTube channel. I think listening to them really inspired the way I would go as far as to envision how I wanted to present my channel in the beginning, because George never held his tongue about how he felt. He was no filter, unapologetic, even if it rubbed somebody out the wrong way, even at times a little bit for me, but at the same time, I respected him for what he wanted to offer. He always was very gung-ho about how he could not listen to mumble rap, and he didn't like the mumble rap scene of hip hop, whereas artists who do like these incoherent lyrics a lot of times do these over catchy beats, some really nice beats, but the problem is they're not really giving you any songs of substance, which means any meaning. So he was very passionate about that, but at the same time, as I got older, I'm 21 now, but as I got older, I realized how music needed to evolve. Hip hop needed to evolve. It can't just be just the conscious, the lyrical, the boom bap, and from what we got from like years ago with jazz rap or some Tribe Called Quest or something like that. Not to say that it's outdated or it can't be modernized, but the fact of the matter is it remains to be seen that everybody wants to do something that's different compared to how they do certain songs in hip hop. So you can go for your alternatives of hip hop all you want and just try to like branch out. Same thing with other genres like R&B, pop, rock, of course, and yeah.
All right. Have you ever felt uninspired to do YouTube in the time you've been doing it and all that?
That's a really good question, bro.
I did catch you a little bit.
Oh man,
that one,
yes you did. Yes you did.
Because I'm imagining it's probably a little taxing sometimes to be doing as many reactions.
Yeah. It can be. There's been times where I've told the audience like, okay, guys, I'm tired. I'm about ready to go to sleep. About ready to just call it for a night. I'm done. Sometimes it would, negate towards maybe 2-3 reactions, maybe even 4. The highest I've done 10 reactions in one sitting. I'm not gonna lie.
That's crazy.
It's just so many, just like songs that I've really trying to get to. But it's like music. While it's like there's so much music out nowadays.
That's true.
So people always hit me up. Okay, Josiah, can you react to this artist, this local artist, and that local artist? And really, I want to shine as much or as many local artists as I can do on my channel. But you have to realize too, there are some mainstream artists that I am really big fans of. Case in point, JID. Why I do so much JID reactions is because he's one of my favorite artists right now in this generation, and I think he has a really, really big future. The Forever Story just recently came out. Great body of work. Cannot wait for the next project to come from Dreamville's ATLium.
I will say to your point, I'm not actually that well educated on music artists. Oddly enough,
Sure.
I don't follow it too much and stuff. But I do like the thought process behind it and stuff, and I do like talking about it because you hearing your perspective on things, it's really interesting. I'm a very open-minded type of guy. If you want to talk about anything, I'll talk about whatever, and I'll talk about it with an open mind. Just I like to see people's perspectives.
Yeah.
And your perspectives on these pieces and stuff, I think, you truly have some passion for it, especially to be going on with the amount of reactions you've done and all that.
It takes a lot of, like, because in my mind, it's work ethic. It's a level of consistency I try to reach every time because, and then you got to think about this too. Not every YouTuber can blow up when it comes to doing their reactions. Not every YouTuber can get notoriety. They can't gain support or all the support they can get from doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of different people who, it's like YouTube is very competitive. You know what I mean? It's like you got people who do the food challenges, the mukbangs, the ASMRs. You got the reactions. You got the artists who does their music on YouTube, and they're trying to like really branch off into doing everything. So it can be a bit of a long one.
And honestly, there's no guarantee that
of this
will end up blowing up ever. But
not with this podcast, for sure.
That's not why we're doing it, and this has been emphasized already.
But if it comes, it came from an organic, foundation of people actually really supporting this channel because of how me and Anthony just steadily moved by integrity.
Mostly you. I just came in a little bit.
I know, bro. I know. But we're going to get to you. Don't worry, bro. We're going to get to you. Episode 1 is all about me, but, we got you too. And we thought about this very genuinely, of like how we wanted to set this up. So as y'all are hearing this part 1 of this podcast, it is about me more so. That's why he's asking me more questions than I'm asking him. But next time around, we're going to really get to Anthony's psyche. But no, I'm playing. So.
But, as far as. So, I got this written down, but I feel like we already answered it. Your biggest impact. Well, actually, no, we didn't get to the drive for your theater or communications degree.
Yeah.
So, you want to get into that?
So, I've always been a fan of, like, actors, movies, TV shows, actresses, just the overall bill of entertainment that goes into it and all the stories that's been told about it. Love watching interviews, love hearing podcasts, just really like getting into the fields that I'm really interested in. So with films in particular, it was really trying to leave a lasting legacy for an actor to really draw in towards the viewer that, yes, he is that good, he is that great, he's outstanding and can win the Academies, right? The Oscars and all that other stuff. And that's some of my goals too, even if I don't ever make it. But to me, it's always to, I don't mind doing independent films either. You know what I mean? I really want to do some independent movies and hopefully get to a point where I can really push a certain topic of where I want to push with that. My motivation for wanting to do it is because, well, I'll say it's 2 reasons. One of the reasons is I love entertaining people. I've always been one that wants to get, I want to say attention or anything like, all eyes on me, shout Tupac, by the way. But it was more like just, I don't know, just you're so close to just doing what you want to do and feeling all bored in your house and you're just not really doing much of anything. You got to start somewhere. I was never an athlete. I never did play sports like basketball, football like that. Didn't really pursue it, but I always knew I could do it in another way. I don't have to, rely on sports, get injured, concussed, paralyzed, none of that. No offense to those that have gone through that. I have love for them.
I've done a little bit of that.
But yeah, man, and I said it to say, like, that's part of the reason why I think it's just more of a safer space, and it's just things that I really want to contribute and challenge myself to get in the drama field of, really showcasing the character where he has a really solid story and it can be built to be memorable for a lot of people. The other reason we'll go as far as to say is it's therapeutic. When you're dealing with your mental health and you've gone through your fair share of experiences with anxiety, depression, isolation, just a lot of things. When you're going through your addictions and you necessarily know you need help, you need somebody to really talk to. One of the biggest things I like to incorporate in my life is my faith, I am a believer in God, Christian, raised, all that. But I will say being in college has helped my faith grew stronger in belief in God, and just continuously like seeking Him and seeking His Son Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. But the other thing too is just be therapeutic and letting other people that God sometimes uses in His own way talk to me, like an Anthony who can help me out whenever I'm probably down. Call him and be like, hey bro, I'm not feeling good today mentally. What's some advice I can get from you? And you might say, okay, do this, and you might not probably hit me with the best advice, but it'll probably be enough,
Yeah.
So it's therapeutic for one.
I fully agree with the therapeutic part. Mm-hmm. There's something about theater where the entire idea during like one of my theater classes, they were talking about the distinction between theater and play. Mm-hmm. And the difference is that theater is more formal. That's the difference they gave between children playing and people doing acting on stage. And the reason is because really theater, in a sense, is play.
Yeah.
That's why they call it plays. In every language, by the way, most languages anyway, it's the word theater or whatever has some word or something that's associated with it that's also associated in all those languages with the word play, as in children playing or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's what it is. And there's something very, very therapeutic about just taking some time out of your day and basically pretending to be someone else.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is.
It is. And it shouldn't really like I thought about this too. Like when it comes to an actor or an actress, and it's not. Keep in mind too. Like I already have my stances on how I feel about it, but I'm also very indifferent. I keep that to myself. But if like an actor or an actress wants to portray a character that does or is identifying themselves as gay or whatever the case may be, due to their sexuality that's being portrayed in the film, keep in mind they're playing a character.
Absolutely. It's
not them in real life, whether they are that or not. But the thing is, you have to understand like the idea of what they're doing. You could make an argument that I don't want to be too controversial when I say this, but it's like there is times where you can argue the industry pushes it probably a little too much, but at the same time, people are making their money. You see what I'm saying? And they're benefiting off of business and just doing what is kind of like appealing towards a generation of the LGBTQ community, and just really like showing love towards them, and I love them, and I ain't got nothing to really say disrespectfully about it. It's just more about why they kind of like go about doing things like that. So whether I accept it or not, I'm indifferent.
I will say in a positive light, due to recent LGBTQ pushes and stuff, it's cool to be able to see the perspective that some of these shows, movies, whatever, plays. I mean, I saw the musical Fun Home, really good musical, look it up, but it was phenomenal. It's based off this book. I'm not going to go into it, but stuff like that, where it's not necessarily being pushed in your face, it's just sort of how it is, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
I like stuff like that, and I like people being able to express themselves the way they want to, and I mean everybody expressing themselves, not just maybe some people who might want to, might not want to.
Yeah, like if a black woman or a black man wants to go as far as to say, I want to marry me someone out my own kind, it shouldn't get them bashed or frowned upon because they want to go about somebody out their own kind. Yeah. That's on them personally. If they choose to go about that way, I'm not saying it's the most ideal thing. Of course, for me personally, I want to marry me a black woman. You know what I mean? I'm saying that loudly on this podcast. But to me, that's where I would say I'll go about. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and get upset about a black woman marrying a Mexican guy or a white guy or a Chinese guy If there's a long-standing issue amongst the race and racial underlines with that, then that's on them. You know what I'm saying? It's not about me. It's not about how I feel. So, for those that are listening, please, for the love of God, do not take this out of context for what I'm saying. I'm just saying in general, based on how people feel. It may not be the most, conductive way for me to put it, but at the same time, I'm just saying that to say at the end of the day, like, this is how I feel.
Yeah. And another thing, something I'd like to do a little bit with this podcast is to show the different lives people lead. Me and Josiah, we have led such different lives.
Yep.
And in the first night, which we talked, me, him, and Colin, we talked about, what was it? We talked until 5 in the morning.
Oh my gosh. We
Crazy.
talked for I never talked so long, but it was 4 or 5 hours, and then I already got my family being like, hey man, Josiah, don't let somebody talk with Josiah. He gonna talk to them to the point where they gonna leave and not be around no more. Jokes like that from time to time.
But, yeah.
But people really gravitate to me actually really talking around here. Sorry, college. But they like to say, when you're down there, you're down here in Dayton, of course. People enjoy my commentary and the way I view certain things and how they gravitate towards it. So I guess I'm just being myself, man.
And
yeah.
Well, you did stray away a little bit from what I was talking about, but my point was the different lives we lead. And
sure.
You, me, and Colin. No, it's all good, man. I love hearing you talk. I really do.
Thank you.
But you, me, and Colin, it was even to the point where we were positioned in 3 corners of the room while we were talking, unintentionally. But we just had so big differences in perspective.
Sure.
And I told some things that apparently made Colin question all his life choices.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, and
had the man thinking.
Yeah, we all were talking for such a long time. Maybe we'll get into some of that stuff, especially if Colin decides, hey, for once in his life, he's gonna step out, let his info be slightly known.
Get out your comfort zone.
Yeah, I mean he's always out of his comfort zone, I think.
Sure.
So, in terms of people who have made big impacts on your life, who else has made big impacts on your life? Not just YouTube or even acting necessarily, although you could go into that a little bit. But you never actually went into communications, by the way.
Yeah, so that's a funny story.
Yeah?
Yes, it is. So when I initially started my freshman year, or before I started my freshman year in college, I had orientation. And my mom, prior to that, was like, you should go and apply for communications to be your major. What my mom didn't know was I already told her I wanted to go for theater studies, or I probably may have told her and she may have forgotten. So when we got towards orientation, it became apparent that I had one major for communications and I had another major for theater studies. So I just said to myself, I'm going to go for both of them. If that's going to be the case, it's very neurotic thinking and weird and quite awkward, to say the least. But I went for that, and I said to myself, okay, Mom, I'm going to pursue just both of them. And then that's one side. Communications is more about, what I've learned more about it is just, the verbal, the perception, the nonverbal aspects of it. There's mass communication. There's interpersonal communication. There's all forms of recognizing how you can fit in with society, the way you communicate with them. And then there's also ventures into business and the economy and all this other stuff that really gets into communications. But I figure it's going to really help me perhaps maybe get into marketing if I was to ever choose my major, or decide to go against communications and say no, and then theater studies wholly, but or not wholly, but more fully, I would have went that route for sure.
It seems kind of crazy that you're double majoring. I mean, I always assumed that was going to be so much hard work and stuff, and I think it becomes that way later on, right?
It can be a challenge because on one hand, you're doing a full semester within the first one, focusing primarily on what you want to go for go first. So, I think I had to initially drop a communication class because I was focusing on doing acting my first semester. So they said, well, how about you go about it come the next semester? As we all know, the next semester is when the pandemic had started to really hit towards about a month, maybe 2-3 months after that. So I had to do classes online and had to remain home while finishing up my procedures.
Yeah. By the way, pandemic, obviously everyone knows, but man, I just feel so bad for all those kids and stuff who just got a little bit of their education robbed.
My heart goes out, man.
Yeah. But one of my biggest influences is Markiplier and, Critical and all that, which, it feels a little cheesy and almost stereotypical, but it's true. They've had such immense impacts on my life and on everyone's lives. Not everyone's, but there's a lot of people who they do touch very regularly in terms of their content and stuff. And like I said, I feel like a big cheese, but it's just people rely on that type of content sometimes. I've relied on it before, and theater's another thing where it's sometimes it's there when I need a little pick-me-up or when I just need to pretend things are different than they are or anything like that. Yeah. And, for me, those YouTubers and some of them influencers and stuff, they're part of my childhood, and that at this point is no longer something I can even dispute. So
yeah, I say, like I said, God is my number one main influence. Of course, His Son Jesus Christ. I'll say my parent, my mom. What I'm saying. My grandparents, role models, and my mom has, been involved when it came to relationships. Some of them have been big influences and have taught me a lot. I say even my own younger brothers and sisters have really inspired me and really have been a big, I'll say factor in my life. Cousins, uncles, aunties. I mean, just pretty much everyone in my family for real. Some probably more closer than others, but I love them all regardless. It's not about favoritism or a certain perception. It's just what you can tell, what you get. So I say family. I'll say people who do important things I'm not gonna go into politics, but I definitely will say actors who go into charities, and I can't name some because it's a lot that I really am influenced by and I'm very big fans of. So
yeah, I will say there's something I want to emphasize about openness and the nature of this podcast. I think I'm gonna say this up front. I'm not a big Christian or anything. In fact, in some ways, I just keep an open mind. I don't like to say I have any answers, but I do question a lot of things. So I'm not the biggest Christ follower or anything. This isn't a Christian podcast. This is us talking, and we, like I mentioned before, we have completely different viewpoints and stuff, and this is sort of the point. We have different viewpoints. That's okay.
Yeah.
We have different political beliefs, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's okay. It ain't something that's going to strain our friendship or whatever, because
that's real.
We aren't like that.
Yeah.
And this podcast, we're going to maybe talk about some things, maybe not, I don't know. But we're going to talk about them openly and in a manner that's like a safe space. We're not there's not going to be yelling. We don't even, I doubt we care that much in order to actually let it hurt anybody or make anybody feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
We just talk about it. And I think part of this podcast should be an area where we can say things and talk about it respectfully.
And once again, what we're saying in general is not taken out of context. So please don't take it out of context and then go in the comments and be like but you said this and you said that and all. Like, I'm joking with you guys. It's all love at the end of the day. Feel free however you want to feel, but keep it very, very respectful and memorable and not toxic or trying to start up a disruption in our conversation that we're trying to have during this podcast, that we like to enlighten you guys. We like to really just leave you with something like the old saying, food for thought, just give y'all something that y'all want to get hit with. If y'all want breadcrumbs of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, it's all here. If you want breadcrumbs of openness and humility and us being vulnerable, we got it all here. So you got to stay tuned for more to come.
Absolutely. And if you guys ever talk together, maybe we make a Discord, maybe we make, or just have it in the YouTube comments or something. If you guys ever talk, always talk respectfully. There will never be a point in time where it's okay to berate someone or do anything just because of someone's beliefs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. Y'all make me no different than him. It'll make him no different than me. You know what I'm saying? Would I like for him to, go into the faith and in some way, kind of like get involved with it? Sure. But it's his choice. It's his decision. Now, I believe God has given us all free will to make those choices and decisions, respectfully. You know what I mean? Yeah, like I said, how you mentioned before, there is no strain on our relationship as friends. It's just mutual respect for one another. And we're not going to always see eye to eye. We're going to have our differences. May have some debates in the near future. Fun-wise, though, it's all love. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep it just fruitful on this channel. Not so much personal where we have beef and then we have a falling out. And then there's no reunion. Not like that.
Yeah, that's just silly.
Really.
So far, I think we covered a lot of ground today.
Yeah, man.
Do you feel like we've covered everything? Do you want to start wrapping it up, or? Yeah, man.
Just feel free to, follow us on social media. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm not going to give you details. Just look up Josiah Willis, and you should. My name should pop up automatically. It might be 2 accounts. Go for the one that has more pictures and videos on there.
Yeah.
And then if you want to go on Twitter, I have a channel on Twitter, so where I promote my channel on there. I'll probably leave it in the description below, alongside, my Instagram as well. So all that and then some, man.
Yeah, and I might not put in my social media stuff yet. Maybe I'll do it maybe in the near future or something if I choose to. But yeah, this so far I think this has been pretty fun.
Yeah, and
man. We're definitely making another episode, by the way. So stay tuned for that.
Yep. Just know it'll be coming some days. Right now we probably won't get some rest and come back.
Yeah. So thanks for tuning in, and we will see you guys later.
All right, Keen Life, we out.